Gaming's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Invictus Gaming's
Faceless Void.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Vengeful. Bat Rider!
Invictus Gaming's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Earth Spirit.
Dire team ban.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Game 2 now between Vici Game and Reborn and IG here at the Chinese Regional Qualifiers for TI6 playoffs. So I'm ODPixel, I'm joined by Draskell, and we've got a draft, and Andy, if you didn't know any better, you would have thought this was the same as Game 1.
Okay, now it's different.
Okay.
It's different now.
But the opening 4 picks at least, this is the same old from both sides.
Pretty much. And I feel like IG, they have a confidence in their picks, and I think it's well founded because the Brood was what really screwed them in the first game and made them in a situation where, you know, their supports weren't really able to get that much accomplished across the map, had to spend a lot of time dealing with Yang. And, you know, if they leave the Brood in the pool again, I think they'll actually pick a hero that can deal with it instead of having a 3rd or 4th pick Brood that just totally destroys the first, like, 15 to 20 minutes of the game for them. And given a different pacing, I think that IG with their heroes could have very easily walked away with the win. And it was showcased by the fact that Ferrari once picking up the Aghanims, Yang, or not Yang, XXS having a couple of really good Chronospheres. They had really good team fight. They held off Vici, brought back a 15,000 net worth / experience lead to 0 pretty much, and then still lost. But if you imagine that first 15,000 lead never happened in the first place, could have very easily seen them walk away with a win.
Yeah, it was a very, very strange game. But again, we're used to that kind of in Game 1's of the series, especially the start of days on lands. Both teams are going to be making mistakes. Let's hope that after Game 1, both teams will iron those out. Here in Game 2, they're going to be able to bring another level of play, and we're going to see some crazy. Because we did certainly see some fantastic stuff in Game 1 nonetheless, but at the same time, it was kind of counteracted by the fact that both teams had positions that they were caught out in that they didn't want to be in themselves. Here we have it in the draft. Now we're going to see if each game Reborn break away from what they did do in Game 1. I do like the fact that they banned out the Oracle though, because that was quite an issue for them in Game 1. There was numerous times where, you know, people were being saved. It's so annoying to play against an Oracle when you're a Bat Rider as well. It's such a hard counter.
It is still a hard counter, and the other thing though they have to keep in mind is Oracle's not necessarily good against Brood, so banning it I think maybe makes Vici Gaming Reborn think a little bit more about not picking the Brood, if that makes sense, because as a support, it's like, if you have Oracle and Earth Spirit, we saw how ineffective that combination was, right? And this is straight out of Paige Vhome's book here, with the Kunkka.
Yeah, it was Ehome, wasn't it, the team that's been doing Kunkka
it was,
every game?
It was Lanham.
Yeah, Lanham Kunkka's been insane.
That guy doesn't even skill X, he just hits all of his torrents.
Oh, did he not? I've not actually seen it.
He played it, and he went, he maxed Tidebringer.
Stats over X.
No, he got X eventually. But I'm just saying, like, for the first 9 levels, it was 4-4-0, and then he just had Boat. And the thing was,
great.
I was kind of scratching my head going, why wouldn't you at least get, like, 1 or 2 points into X? You know, just for the TP abuse for, like, refilling bottle and whatnot. But the guy just literally hit every torrent. It was insane. He hit, like, 20 torrents in a row one game. So, I guess you don't need X if you can just land your spells, but yeah. I'm liking the Kunkka a little bit more recently. I think it's another good countermeasure for heroes like Faceless Void. We talked about the area control of Elder Titan and how throwing a spirit into the Chrono can be very jarring for the Void player. The same thing can be said for Kunkka. His spells are just very long range. You get the nice rum buff inside of the Chrono, stops a lot of the damage output, and you think of how, you know, IG worked as a squad in the previous game with the Marana, Chrono, plus the Earth Spirit combination, it's just a lot of AoE damage. So you get that boat buff, and you're taking like 50% less damage through the fight.
Yeah, the run buff is insane. It really is absolutely one of the main factors for picking this hero, and it's so good with heroes. I gotta say, looking at VG Gaming's Reborn's lineup, I want to say you want to grab yourself a Death Prophet. DP a lot.
Always capable of jungling. The Disruptor is going to be the choice. You know, Death Prophet has been overlooked in this series so far.
It was banned in game 1.
It was later though.
Right? It was late, yeah, later banned.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Death Prophet at all, actually. I think it's just a really good hero overall. But the one thing is, they don't have Oracle, which I think is probably like the best pairing with Death Prophet because of how much Spirit Siphon heals you during Ultimate.
Yeah. Oracle.
Not to say that bad with Vesh, because you can still technically swap out a Static Storm and Chrono. And they're going to pick their safe lane first, so they have the Sven.
Okay.
Sven insanely good against this lineup.
And also insanely good against the Elder Titan, which is still there.
That's true.
You know,
Very
having
true.
that
Not that I think that they're going to pick Elder Titan on IG, because they
actually, that's
it.
true. Sorry, they've already got the ports. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and the off lane, I think XXS will most likely just be playing Void again. So
that's true.
5 seconds remaining.
All right, so IG still need Ferrari's hero. Queen was the last ban. Okay, they're just gonna go Invoker.
Now those questions asked about with Mirana was a Ferrari's hero. Invoker, that's definitely Ferrari's hero.
Yeah, I really thought they would just pick Invoker last game.
Yeah,
because it was available.
It was available, wasn't it? Yeah.
And Vici last ban Queen, so yeah, getting their hands on the Expert Invoker this game. I say Expert Invoker, but obviously it could still be Quaswex. It just depends on the style that IG want to play. I just really like the synergy of Chrono and dropping in ball inside of it. There's just something so satisfying about watching those heroes just melt.
Oh, it's beautiful. It really is. And it does kind of surprise me, because with the Invoker as well, I would have loved to see an Elder Titan in this draft, but as you said, because the Earth Spirit Disruptor it's very unlikely, unless they want to do some kind of Spirit Elder Titan.
They can safe lane the Void technically.
Yeah, and do a carry Void. But it was just to see what VG Gaming Reborn are worried about. If it is indeed more kind of the orthodox laning, IG are still looking for that carry hero for QD. PL is there.
No, PL's not a pick this game.
But as you said, yeah, because
against
of the Sven, that's
just
put you off, and the Kunkka. You just those two picks have just stopped QD from even thinking about the PL.
Yeah, you definitely don't want PL this game.
Slot that now. Slot that is a good ban.
Let's.
Oh, they're banning out Yang's Brood as well. They are worried about that getting through.
That's a really good ban.
Yeah.
So they think it's Mikasa bad again, which is a fair assessment, I think, of the situation.
Yeah, I certainly think that's more likely. Yeah, even though I would have liked to see the Death Prophet with this lineup. It's something that a lot of other Chinese teams have been doing, the Death Prophet Kunkka, Death Prophet
I would like
Venge.
to see Wind Ranger safe lane, but I don't think they'll pick that.
Wind Ranger safe lane?
Dude, it's
what
actually
are you
really
on
good. It's
Is it
really
good?
good because, okay, you know how when Navi were running mid Wind Ranger and they would just have Dendy go Blink Maelstrom against the high armor teams like Sven? And it was just crushing Sven lineups because the lightning procs would just keep killing and keep killing. If you look at Vici's lineup, they have pretty much no reliable MKB buyer outside of the Sven, so once you get the core 3 items, you're pretty much invincible to their lineup. It's just strong. But again, no one picks it, so I don't think that's going to be the case here. I think that they're most likely just going to go with...
what did they go here?
Blastio's banned, Naga's banned.
A lot of the carrot...
Slark. I mean, Ursa's available, but I don't know if IG are an Ursa team.
What about the Gyrocopter? I guess, again, that's not great.
Gyro,
but
Gyro...
That's not...
The thing about Gyro is that it gives you an insanely strong mid-game timing, so it's not bad.
Okay.
The other option is like Clinks, yeah, but Clinks is not... It's okay against Sven, not great.
Yeah. No, yeah. I got to be honest already. I'm liking what VG Reborn are doing here.
Same.
I'm excited to see what this final pick is to finish it off. As you said, we're expecting it to be Yang's hero. That's obviously what IG feel it's going to be. You know, that is as well. Obviously, regarding the fact that we saw Mikasa back last game, you would imagine it to be Yang's hero.
I actually think that... Yeah, it's definitely Yang's hero, by the way, in regards to what you're saying. But I think that the Clinks is the best of a bad situation, because I think that IG are kind of outpicked here right now.
Does Yang play the old Tidehunter? We're going to see Kunkka Tide join forces?
I mean, it's definitely possible. I think it's good against Void. I like having Tide against Void because it's another hero that has AoE control. It's a Natvac carrier, which currently they don't have. He can almost always get farm. But it just depends on how active IG supports are going to be during the early game. Okay, it is offlane bat. Alright, so it's a Yang bat, and it's a Mikasa DK.
Alright, okay. Okay, something that, you know, as you said, going from the way that the bats normally played, not that we didn't necessarily expect, and something that IG didn't expect.
It's such a strong front line from VG.R. Like, Warcry with Dragon Knight and Kunkka Rum, like, how in the hell...
Gonna do?
How are you going to kill either of these heroes? They're going to be so tanky. I'm really liking VG.R.
I gotta say, I've got to agree. And especially from just the play that we saw in game 1 as well, and going into it, the fact that I feel that VG.R they are just seeming to be the better team at the moment. So IG, they've got to bring out the big guns. They do have that Ferrari Invoker, and that can be that star pick. That really can be that star pick, and he can give us a star performance. But
I'm just excited to see a little bit more support Kunkka as well, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. That's always fun to play.
And
Roshan kills. These guys like to take it late. I'm kind of tempted to put 5+ after game 1.
I'm gonna put 3. I think that VG.R are gonna win this game and they won game 1.
I'm gonna go 5. I believe in IG's potential to take this late. Even though they might not want it, but they can keep it down.
Roshan is Vici for sure. First time of tower destruction, 5-8.
Is it definitely Vici?
How long will the game be?
I'm gonna go with IG. I'm gonna be a bit, you know, a bit of devil's advocate.
Okay.
Play against that, but time is the first tower destruction. They've got clinks. I'm gonna go 5 to 8 minutes. I don't think yeah, it doesn't do less than 5 minutes. How long will the game be? Well, if I'm going with my 5+ Roshan kills, you know, I'm gonna say we're gonna be in the long haul again. I'm going 60-minute plus after game 1. Let's see if we have it again.
I mean, it's possible.
It is possible. The way that these teams do like to play.
Ooh, good D ward here from IG.
Easy D ward.
And Ferrari's got that.
He's got the big box
set, yeah.
Yeah, it's very nice indeed. I think with his hairstyle as well, he also gets the flashy sunstrike, doesn't he? I believe.
Yeah.
Flashy sunstrikes, flashy tornadoes and EMPs. No, not deafening blast. That's right. Very nice indeed. I think Ferrari is actually one of the people as well that seeing screenshots. He literally does have like a level 2000 or something companion.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he's got the big bucks.
I think the owner of IG is like the son of one of the richest people in China, so yes. I'm pretty sure they just get like 1 billion items.
He's probably got multiple sets of this Invoker.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is. Yeah.
I'm a little
not just the one that he's got. Does he record any kind of stats? This one?
I don't know. I think that's more of a inscription or whatever they call it. Like the. You can like put it on to see like Sunstrike's hit or whatever.
There we have it. There's and mid lane. They want to kill Mikasa, and they're okay. Roll misses. I'm coming in, but yeah, it's a DK. I mean, even without the dragons, bloody just that. So a little bit unfortunate. It kind of begs the question: if that roll hit, I don't know if then they would have got the kill with the breathe fire damage reduction. That's a hard kill to get.
Yeah. And it's gonna probably end up being a standard 2-1-2 for Mikasa in mid, so
yeah.
The double points into Dragon's Blood makes him so hard to harass out of lane.
Another lanes. QD. Actually interesting to note as well. Look at this, they put the Klinks against Yang's Batrider up top. Bottom lane, they put the Void solo safe lane against this tri-lane. So, are you liking this decision from IG?
I think they have to dodge more or less.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. So Mikasa's gonna take a few autos here. Nothing too crazy though. I mean the aggro trail into VG.R, yeah, they're gonna just go ahead and dismantle it. It makes more sense to just send one person top because otherwise you're committing like all these resources to the lane where your kill potential is not really that high, especially against the mid. So in the center 2-1-2, I think it's all right. Otherwise Torrent's gonna be a little off here, but I would actually say in the laning phase, personally, I think IG has a small advantage because QD shouldn't be pressured too hard here. He needs to just buy a stick and he'll be fine. And then FY is not really going to be able to set up a kills unless he has another support with him. That's like one of the things about Kunkka that makes him a little harder to utilize in the first like 10 to 15 minutes is he either needs levels or he needs another support with the disable and damage to be able to get a kill.
Yeah, we see Yank just forcing back Maboka. But yeah, with the disruptor as well as the speed up, it does. I'm sorry. Onto QD. It's allowing these stacks to kind of build up. And he's going to have to get himself out with the walk. Does have a salve available. Mid lane matchup at the moment. 12 for 3 against the 10 for 1. Mikasa keeping himself close. And this one lane, as you said, to expect, you know, XXS not really in any danger of dying. And is not getting as much CS as the Sven. Sven, of course, and with the backup from DDC, just controlling these side pulls.
I mean, he's not really getting as much, but the fact that he's getting as much as he is still...
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a great sign for VG.R, but again, it's more about the timings, like the Sven being able to accelerate his farm once they get out of the laning phase, you get the Helm of the Dominator and the Echo Saber, you start getting some stacks. If IG can keep their consistency in their laning phase up and they just get really far ahead, I think they do have a shot. But they need to be playing from ahead like all the time.
I mean, mid lane, okay. No.
That micro.
Not gonna happen. That's a good job it doesn't as well. The bottle on there. Unfortunately, if Ron was maybe able to find himself in a position 20 seconds or so earlier where it was a walking courier, that would have been successful. The courier snipe won't be there this time. FY trying to take what he can as bo3 Coyote are cleaning up this camp in the jungle with the side pull. But all in all, pretty passive start. No one able to fully go in on each other as of yet. As everyone is kind of relatively safe, as all seems kind of balanced well across the map in terms of the lanes.
It is a bit. The Bat Rider's struggling though. I guess you could argue that Yang
Yeah,
will probably be able to go to the jungle later. And maybe somebody can make a stack or two for him. But usually when the laning phase is so static, you don't really see a lot of kills. It's typically when there are multiple rotating heroes that skirmishes start to appear out on the map where either someone doesn't have vision or you might not anticipate a gank, and that's when you start seeing the first bloods. But given the current lanes...
This could set up the first blood. Invis on bo3, depending on how aggressive Casa plays, but actually he's got full bottle charges, and he'll be able to go for that as well. So this might actually keep him safe. EDC's coming with a wraparound, drops a wolf down. So yeah, the question will be if Mikasa gets caught out by this, and even if he does, 2 points for the Dragon's Blood, 2 points to Breathe Fire, do they actually have the damage to deal with him? Let's see. Revealing himself, playing around, but the Breathe Fire onto 2 is going to negate a lot of the damage output. In fact, with the back of the Magic Missile, they look to turn into bo3. Cold Snap though, they'll do it, IG. Finding themselves first blood for Ferrari, looking to get more. They do have a glimpse, wrong, not actually quite in range, he actually uses it to just bring Yang out of the fight, who did come down there with a TP. So, IG finding themselves first blood, losing nothing in return. That's a very nice way for them to start, and always one of the perks really of finding an Invis rune early on in a game where it is kind of this static. I can normally be able to be enough to just push you over the edge and allow you to find that first kill.
It just goes to show how good Meteor is in the early game as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure if he didn't have that value point into Wex, they wouldn't have killed the DK there. So good stuff coming in from Ferrari, just understanding what he needs in order to be able to kill the DK with a small rotation coming in from the Air Spirit. But I still think VG.R are okay, but as expected, IG's lanes are just edging them out a little bit at the moment.
Cutie, how's he do? 25 here, so still finding some farm up top. FY looking to wrap around. They're going to go for it here. X mark into the turret. This isn't a man who's going to mess up the combo. Hits it every time. FY, and great little play and nice little catch onto the Clinks, who was enjoying a fair bit of solo action up there. So VG.R now able to find themselves an opening kill onto the board.
Yeah, it's good stuff. As soon as FY hits level 6, that's going to be a really big power spike for VG.R. You get one disable out, you throw a boat, that's just a kill. Like, there's not really much they can do about it. The amount of burst that it offers at this stage in the game is just insane. As IG doing a 3-man creep stack here in their woods near bottom lane. They're just kind of like team farm, I guess.
Yeah, the full 5-man on it. Alright.
I mean, it's a little bit weird, but you know, it's gold, I guess.
Alright, this is all for me with my 8-minute tower predicting if Mikasa gets himself knocking on this with the Elder Dragon form. As indeed VG.R, they'll see the opening. They're just going to push it onto this tower. Very nicely done, guys. Very nicely done. They should be able to finish that. The rest of VG playing around the bottom lane. I mean, XXS yet to hit level 6. Doesn't have that chrono. Actually, they do catch Yang. And jumping forward. And not quite enough control in Yang. Yeah, he's going to be safe. Gets himself back out of the way. And indeed, VG.R will finish off their first tower within that 8 minutes.
Feels good to have that prediction.
Absolutely
does.
Tasty, tasty battle points.
Where are you now, Twitch fan chat?
Fan chat?
Fan something? I don't know.
Fan chats.
Yeah, I couldn't think of another word that wasn't offensive, so...
That's true, yeah.
Alright, so... everything kind of going the way we expected, at least for the first like 5 to 10 minutes. Getting the offlane tower is obviously going to be a nice little influx gold here for VG.R. But they don't really seem to be stopping as bo3.
He's a goner.
He's dead.
We're seeing, yeah, just FY with a couple of quick combos on the top lane early on the Clinks and therefore on the Earth Spirit. You know, IG being caught out by that twice. So they've just got to be very careful with how it's playing. And when they do decide to send one hero back to hold the defense against an aggressive push that involves VG.R's Kunkka, FY is always going to be there ready for the setup.
He's such a good hero at punishing bad positioning. You know, you can think of him as like a mini disruptor. If you get X, kind of just dead. If you get glimpsed, you're kind of just dead. So those two things are just incredibly strong tools when thinking about where you're standing on the map. So more rotations coming in here. FY making his way towards bottom lane. He's Not quite level 6 just yet, but I think they still wanted to go for a little bit of a play. They have a smoke.
And I guess all he needs to do, it gets the Xbox off, you're getting a kill.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
You're a goner.
I mean, really, FY's Kunker is absolutely just making everything happen at the moment for VG.R. It's absolutely beautiful. As you said, you're excited to see it, and so far it's not fair to do.
Oh, you know what? Death Pack just wore off when they ganked him, so that's why he didn't have quite that much durability there. But more tower damage being dealt, and VG.R is establishing himself. The rest of his teammates start pressuring that safe lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Will try and look to find a tier 1 themselves, but I mean, look at Mikasa. Still got a good amount of Elder Dragon form left. VG.R, what's their play? Do they move in for a tier 2 or do they look to wrap around?
So yeah, on the Bat Rider. So, and you don't have any.
Yeah, he can. Oh, hello.
Dire's
And
tower is under
QD finding each other. DDC, oh, fine position. Not a lot he can do to save himself.
Yeah, cold snap is that. And he was just being a little bit greedy about it. Like, he knew he didn't have mana. He wanted to go for tower the knife, so he throws at the torrent to try to get it, and just ends up paying with his life. So now he's got to get like 1 or 2 CS. He'll have his boat available. I would assume that VG.R are going to be going for some fights as Mikasa is getting first. Not Mikasa, excuse me. Yang is his blink dagger, and once that.
Yeah, they're going to punish him. FY's come alone. Instant Sunstrike being dropped down. Mikasa maybe seeing if they can turn something around as they get the Dragon Tail onto Baboka. DDC's there as well with a follow through lockdown, and they will find a kill in return. But at the same time, IG again with a favourable trade. Support for support, but do that tier 1 and get more money into the pocket of this Klings.
It's actually a better game for IG right now in regards to the towers. They've taken the safe lane and the tier 1, whereas IG still have their tier 1 standing very well. So Yang is actually going to say he almost had it because he has 2,000 gold right now. So
Yeah, he must have been very close.
he must, yeah, he just had the money and died, which is unfortunate.
But again, this game, so far very, very close. I think really in game 1 at this point, it was like VG.R that were playing the better Dota. But
They had like a 10k lead at this point of the game in game 1.
But in this game, IG looking good. And a lot of it is down to not just the support play, but the fact that Ferrari's just picking up the farm very nicely. Did get that good timing on the Midas. And, you know, 1-0-3. It is setting up to be a potentially very, very scary Invoker game for the side of VG.R to have to deal with. As Ferrari is a bit of a magician on the man. And IG will look for a smoke attempt.
I mean, they do have the Static Storm available with the Magnetize in about 5 seconds, so 2 of the 3 of their big teamfight utilities are up and available. Ah, they're going to ward, I think. I don't think... this is a really early Roshan attempt.
And if they were looking, would have seen that DD disappear.
Oh, they ain't looking, because no one's heading towards...
Nope, they weren't looking.
Yeah, this is super free.
Oh, hello. His prediction was IG to take Roche first. Yes.
Man, that was actually...
Come on, IG.
That was such a nice play from IG.
That was smart. Oh, and I knew it was going to happen, obviously. That prediction correct.
Clearly they were going to smoke.
Goodbye, Mikasa. Glimpse back. And yeah, they just come over a little bit too late and to punish it. And yeah, they did have the ward there, so just a little bit unfortunate for VG.R that they weren't keeping their eyes open.
Yeah, and with that, the Void also now picks up the Blink Dagger, so all the teamfight utilities on the side of IG are now up and available, which makes this mid push a little bit scary if you're VG.R. You do not want to try to go into this. Mikasa might suffer the wrath of the Void if he heals up fast enough and is able to get to that middle lane. But man, VG.R just don't care, they're going.
Alright, straight in with the lasso onto Ron, making sure the Static Storm doesn't come out. Can he kill him? They can't in time with the cold snap onto Yang. Yang getting glimpsed back as well. He's in trouble at the same time. Baboka rolls in, magnetized onto DDC on the back lines, getting the swap out to try and save the dream. These game's not going to work. The magnetize ends up killing him anyway. XXS on the front line still has a Chrono Spear available. Jumps forward, looking to control the two of them. There it is, catching Yang on the tip as well as End. End's going to get dropped. Baboka doing the damage this fight with his magnetized triple kill on the Earth Spirit. FY will be able to get himself back to base. DDC is going to be fine as well, but what a fight for IG has been now coming hard down the mid lane, and we'll just see the damage done. Yeah, a healthy 1600 by that Earth Spirit that fight. Great play from Baboka.
I gotta say, it was a little bit odd that VG.R decided to continue to push into that, full well knowing what they were getting themselves into. Like, the teamfight capability of IG is crazy good. You can't just walk up to the tower and expect to not try to defend like that.
Oh, FY. Tries to look for a setup.
I missed it.
This time we're going to be off the mark.
It was a bit awkward though because he got glimpsed back, so he had a bit of a strange timing on his X and Torrent. But yeah, that was a fantastic fight from IG.
Oh yeah. It really was, as you can see. Whoop. IG, Roshan. Been a good fight. The game continues to go at a great pace for Ferrari, who is keeping up with Farmouth Sven, who has kind of been, as we saw just in the jungle, cleaning out the camps with that helm. Nearly has the S and Y finished. And to me, this feels like a build that we don't necessarily see all the time. There's a lot of different ways to build the Sven, but yeah, opting for the helm into the S and Y this game. And
I mean, I like it actually.
Yeah.
Because BKB it's okay, but whenever there's a Void on the other team and a Clinks, you don't necessarily feel super happy about buying it early. And I think this build in particular allows him to just stay very consistent on farm. Obviously, it's not an Echo Saber, but he did buy the Vici, so he's got a little bit of extra mana regeneration going his way just because of that.
oh, Ferrari, just gonna play around with Ben. Yeah, he can't really do this on his own. War cries out, and then just a little bit too durable for the Invoker to break through himself on his own. But yeah, this game as well, I mean, and you know, with the S and Y, do they then look to try and fight, or they need more? They need to continue for more.
I suppose they could probably fight soon, knowing that Ferrari's Aegis is going to be expiring in the next couple of minutes, but I think that IG are in a really strong spot right now, and as such, they're just going to go for another smoke. I already revealed the Blink Dagger on the Void earlier when they were chasing down mid, as they're also going to lose FY again, getting caught out here in the bottom part of the woods where the tier 1 used to be.
Yeah, IG at this point are just...
I mean, Wrong's almost got this. He takes 7 gold away.
Alright, jump in as well from Invoker. See if they can catch out. They do have. Now they don't have actually a glimpse, so they won't be able to trap anyone Static Storm. G unable to find anything there with that play. They'll just look to transition this into a tier 1 push, moving around to join the forces of QD down on the bottom lane. What's he got coming out? It is, yeah, the full Desolator now done on Clinks as well. So, again, this is compared to the drafting game, I feel at this point, 17 minutes in, they've got a much better way of fighting around the chrono. You know, if XXS hits a chrono, you've got more than enough damage this time around at this stage of the game to throw in and kill whoever you want who gets trapped in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, really, it's just the middle fight that's put them in such a weird spot. They're gonna catch End with a kick here. Well, I guess he's just gonna be able to walk it off.
They are coming in thick and fast here. Actually, they're running straight down the lane, and they will actually get the Vision of the Glimmers back onto Mikasa. They'll start to work into the Dragon Eye. Look, with the Desolator, they melt him. He's gone. DDC potential volley as well. You have the Chrono from XXS, catching the two of them, making sure that End's God Strength is limited in how effective it can be. Can they kill QD? Oh, they can't quite reach him. They can't quite reach him. One more touch. QD on the Great Escape.
Dust is gone.
Oh, he's out of there. And at the same time, on the back of it, IG, they're looking to take down End. The Boulder Smash connects. Sunstrike there as well to seal the deal. IG, they're playing absolutely insane this game. Yang, he's got to run. XXS has got the blink up in a second. Do they know where he is? See if they find him. QD's got him. Actually, no, XXS jumps in to take the glory. And cold snap on FY. DDC will be there with the swap out. XXS. Yeah, let's not get too hasty, IG. They are maybe getting a little bit ahead of themselves. No, they're not. QD turns around. XXS comes back in with the time dilation onto 2. The Sunstrike. Oh! FY with the foresight and the calculation holds it back. But my goodness, IG. They're playing absolutely insane this game. They just seem to be really hitting their stride and in an incredible zone of comfort. And of course, just in these fights as well, just Ferrari with some masterful control. 3-0-10 on this Invoker. He's just continued to have an absolutely fantastic game. As we said, just straight at the back of the stuff. You know, this guy, this is his hero.
Yeah, it really is. He's played this hero at top tier for God knows how long, like 6+ years, I want to say. He's been an Invoker master, but I think that's really worrisome for VG.R is their lineup is supposed to kind of reach mid-game timing where you have these tanky frontline heroes like Sven and DK. They're durable enough to where the rest of your team can get spells off or you can get a nice initiation with the Bat Rider. But they're just losing every single fight. Like IG are outmaneuvering them,
they lose the
outplaying.
snap out here.
This is a tough kill though, to be honest.
They're
They're waiting for the war
magnetized.
cry. They're waiting for the war cry to wear off. That's why.
Yep.
Perfectly done there.
Really is. Really, really clean stuff from IG. Each and every time. Just opportunity again.
No.
But DDC's with the stop. Exit. 1, 2, 3. They'll finish it. Same time. IG want to continue to fight, jumping forward again, but Boca's control stun. Silence onto 2, the Meteor raining down, won't quite catch out Mikasa, but he's only just about keeping himself alive with the armor toggling. Will it be enough? Oh, no, he's glimpsed back and he's gone. But Boca's spray, I mean, that's the thing, but he's really to start.
Stepped it up. And it's really good because IG lineup has a lot of during the game, so good punt for bad positioning. So you have like Cold Snap, obviously, which was just wrecking Mikasa during the last couple of engagements, also got him killed mid, Chrono, Static Storm and Kinetic Field, all these other teamfight utilities that VG.R really just don't have. They're a little bit more farm reliant. They want the Sven to be able to get his core items up. Obviously, En's going for the BKB now, but he's already died 3 times, and Sven is kind of similar to an Alchemist or an AM who kind of benefits from the idea that you're farming just so much faster than the cores in the enemy team, but that's really not been the case. The net worth, the Klings is actually higher than the Sven right now, and even in the worst of games, you normally see a Sven lineup, if they're behind, is like still highest net worth. That's not happening here. IG have just been rolling on all cylinders since a very early point in this game. Like even, the first couple of kills, handful went VG.R's way, but since that point, just he takes the creep. But yeah, every fight from IG, just immaculate team fights and coordination.
We might see something big kick off here as well. The scanned out.
Oh, they caught him too.
IG know the VG.R there on the high ground. Let's see what kind of wraparound that they can get. IG. This could be a great bit of movement here. VG.R, will they expect this at all? We'll see. VG.R have headed right round into IG's jungle. Look like IG are actually going to be able to find them here. They're drawing the lines out. They do know the current whereabouts. At least they've hit bang on with the prediction. VG.R. Yeah, both teams are not going to spot each other.
I mean, it's pretty obvious what they're both doing. Like,
yeah.
Trying to establish whatever vision control they can. Yang's got the gem, which is nice, but IG probably feeling a lot more comfortable in their shoes. Again, triple Midas. That's gonna be it's gonna be pretty difficult for VG.R to make a good transition against that. Even considering like a Disruptor who's able to buy Midas, Wrong is living the high life right now as a support. Most games you're not going to be able to get a luxury item like this, but they've just done so well that he can afford to buy something a little bit on the greedy side, considering how much map control they do have.
Alrighty, they've found a way to start this off, jumping in onto Mikasa, Static Storm as well. There's the Meteor, gonna force him back. They'll find the lasso onto Farai, but immediately XSS coming in with the Chronosphere, catching out Yang and FY. The rest of the team moving forward. QD trying to lay down the damage. The Tornado onto 3. Can they finish it off? Then Ferrari's the one that's gone too deep. They'll lose the Invoker. So IG getting ahead of themselves there and throwing away Ferrari's life. And that, who did that go to? Yeah, the goal went to Sven, and very happy with that pickup.
That was such a unfortunate deafening. He pushed the Sven, or not the Sven, the DK through the kinetic field with that deafening and allowed him to get away. I think if he just dropped the Meteor instead with the Cold Snap on, Mikasa would have likely died. And then that prevents, XXS from overcommitting to go for the team fight and eventually getting Ferrari killed. So that was just unfortunate. And now VG.R looking at a potential Roche. They don't have God Strength for 30 seconds. Maybe it's still scary for them to try to go into the pit knowing that, QD is still alive. But Boca obviously doesn't have his Magnetized just yet. But I guess they're just going to be using this time to re-establish their vision control. Yang's doing some D-warding. And man, that was probably the best case scenario that could have happened for VG.R is overcommitment from IGN to their high ground, messing up a combo, a very rare kind of misinvoke, I suppose, there from Ferrari, but it did cost them.
I really did. And I imagine we'll see. Yeah, it just start swinging in the direction of at least the momentum. Actually, if they can take another good fight, a QD. BKB now done as well, he'll feel a little bit more confident just sitting there in the middle of the fight, turreting out the damage on this Clinks. Let's go VG.R's players next. IG, they're going to go for a smoke again. I want to try and bait out with QD in the mid lane. No one's falling for it at the moment. You got Mikasa finishing towards the B recipe. And Roshan is hit those. Go for that to Italy. And they are instead to look for action first. FY playing it safely. They did see it was there. IG, but indeed FY backs up. VG.R well aware that something fishy is going on across the map, and they're not going to be ones to be caught out by it.
Yeah, they even got the creep inside of the pit to scout Roshan, so they'll be fully aware of what's going on here. Vici. I still think it's a good chance for a comeback, just because Vici have ways to start fights, and that's something that you can always look to on a team. And you know, even if you're a VG.R fan or an IG fan, just having multiple ways of initiating is always a good way to establish yourself and take a good fight. So it's not as if VG.R are totally written off just yet.
Nope.
Their Sven still has a good amount of farm. He's got BKB. Biggest concern is how much damage do IG have through Magic Immunity? I mean, you're looking to the Clinks and being like, he's the main guy, but just the Desolator against Sven if he gets the Warcry off, it's not necessarily the highest amount of DPS, but yeah, IG still, they need to do more to seal this game out.
Yeah, they really do. They can't afford to lose that early game momentum that they found. And VG.R with their own smoke.
Alright, this is a oh, they're gonna Sunstrike? Oh gosh. That's really unfortunate they just threw it now, because they're not gonna see what's going on. Yeah, free Roshan here for Vici. IG are not anywhere near this. And this is big. This lets Vici get a good team fight. You know, BKB up now on Mikasa, 10 seconds. Same thing for End. This is a gigantic power spike.
Yeah, it really is. This could be the beginning of the turnaround for VG.R. Ages onto Mikasa, as well as the BKB, as you said. This man is going to be very, very hard for the side of IG to even dream of taking down. Aghanim's half done on Baboka. Void looking for for the BKB himself. QD, as you said, they do still need a bit more damage to break through the defenses of VG.R. What does the Clinks go for next after this BKB Desolator opening?
I think crit is always really good.
Yeah.
MKB is not bad, but against BKB maybe it's not ideal. He could also go for something like a Diffusal just in case supports start picking up Ghost Scepters, but VG.R are a little on the poor side, so I don't know if Ghost is going to be something that he's going to necessarily have to worry about. So yeah, I would say crit, maybe even Bloodthorn is okay.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
On top, IG, regardless of the fact that they were not the ones to get the Aegis and the VG.R did take it, IG are not feeling scared of them. They come out to the top, they'll take a tier 2.
Well, I think they just had vision of the river, so they saw they saw VG.R running down there.
That's true, yeah. Feeling that they've got the space to play with here. VG.R will find a tier 2 themselves in quick reaction, so trade between the sides. See who's going to back first. IG. They're going to move forward. They're going to be the ones to try and force VG.R to back. Yeah.
Technically, the team is closer to base should always be the ones who force the reaction first. And QD needs to be stopped here. He's kind of just punching that tower to death, already below half health. Alright, they get a glimpse there. They're going to send BK back to the river.
Alright, and Sven as well. BKB now after the Blink Dagger after the BKB and the SMY. And also FY, he has managed to finish off that mechanism on Kunkka as well. So Mech and the Kunkka's run, you know, if he's able to land that across his 5 teammates, that can make the fights very hard for IG to bite through. Especially, you know, considering just the Sven Warcry, the fact he's got this SMY BKB, the DK. They want to just pick up. Is incredibly hard to take down.
Yeah, they're durable.
Yeah.
And if they didn't have such a bad, their team would be even scarier to deal with right now. But their item progression has obviously been slowed a substantial amount, which allows IG to stay in relative control of the situation. They still have the highest net worth heroes, but the gap is closing. You know, it's not as if them free farming during this stage of the game is necessarily putting them farther ahead. It's more just like, we're trading farm. It's just going to depend on who takes the better engagement at this point that's going to decide who wins. And it is going to be Diffusal for Clinks, okay. I figured he might buy it. It's still good against Sven and whatnot and other heroes because you can just purge Warcry. And if you think about it this way, the Diffusal still gives you attack speed and you're taking away 20 armor from a hero that you're hitting, it's pretty much better value than a Deso.
Yes. Absolutely, yeah. And yeah, what's he going to drop? Yeah, just get rid of the Ring of Aquila. So he can hold his stuff. Blink Dagger was picked up from Mikasa as well. So another way that VG.R can look to find the initiation.
As DK's even got a double damage, so.
That's big time up top. I mean, they'll definitely get this tier 2 by the looks of it. So another tap for the start.
Having no vision right now is really scary. Going to the void, Blink Dagger. Oh, they get the high ground ward.
Look at this bat. Yang's doesn't even respond to Mikasa with a deep dive. Jumps in onto Rock. Ross goes up to keeping him alive. Mikasa can't finish that one off. XX does. It's not enough damage. Look at the sound, but End has to run. IG can they get more of a catch here? Oh, what finish this man off? Is he going to tick down? Yes, he will. They do find Silence. Rolls in. Balls to the face on DDC. As they will hop the defense IG. It is a pretty thick. He's on it.
There was so much miscommunication there. When he knows that success is stunned, BKB, like, go forward, and I mean, he's just dead. Once Mikasa dies, the fight's just over. So, DDC is standing, like, super close to a point where the Earth Spirit is able to initiate on him. Like, bo3 silenced him and kicked him with a rock before he was able to swap out the DK, so he just dies. And that all just happens because the Sven didn't blink into the base and throw out a Stormhammer. Like, all he had to do was do that, because the only other initiation here on the team was already disabled, and that was the Void. So I don't know if the shot calling was just like way off, but they could have very easily X'd there if they just coordinated a little bit better.
I know, but I mean, going off that, do you think VG.R, they will just wait for Roshan again before trying that? They can't do it without... Are they in any kind of rush as well, VG.R, or do they feel safe this game?
I think you kind of do want to end the game sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Because the lower BKB cooldowns, or sorry, not cooldowns, durations,
yes,
for VG.R is going to hurt them a lot. Like, you want high duration BKBs on your DK and your Sven while you're trying to breach high ground. And the lower they get, the better the Invoker is going to become, the better the Disruptor is going to become as well, because this guy's got a Midas. That means Aghanims is not out of the question. Eventually he will get that, and it does look like this game is going to be stretching out a lot longer. Very similar to game 1, you know, 67 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised to see this game just dove in pretty aggressively there, but I actually think he made the right call.
Would you just go straight in?
Well, yeah, because he
heroes
that,
with the lockdown.
Yeah, he knew that he would catch the Void, and as soon as he saw that opening, if the Sven was on the same page and they had just communicated properly, they might have actually just been over now, because that Void had no buyback. That was just like a really good call from Mikasa that this team didn't back him up on.
I'm sure the coach will have had words to say to his team after letting down there.
He's gonna give him the ruler.
You don't let down the coach.
Yeah.
You do not let down the coach. Absolutely not. So VG.R, see how they play into the next one. And Crystal is 2.2k gold, so at this point as well, when he has the money for the daily, do you think he just picks it up? Is there any reason why he holds off for a buyback as well at this stage? Because of IG's pretty scary pushing power. You know, if he goes down, IG with the Clinks and the Invoker, they can power down the lane, surely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. He's gonna save buyback until Roshan spawns.
Yes. Yeah.
Once Roshan's up, if they get it, think he might just you know, get rid of the Blink Dagger or get rid of the Dominator and carry the Aegis around with the Daedalus, and that way you don't need to save for buyback because you have to have 2 lives. But yeah, it's scary territory for both teams, to be honest, because all it takes is VG.R to take one good fight. All it takes is IG to get one good fight, and your base or Roshan is just going to be taken because of how much like physical damage scaling is on both sides. One, you have Venjor with a Sven. The other, like you mentioned, you have Flings with Expert and Invoker. They both just demolished buildings.
Yeah. Yeah, as we saw, I mean, at the top push when they went for the tier 3, and VG.R kind of took a bit of time to do anything about it. You know, significant damage was done in a couple of hits. Smoking time from IG. Success. Let's see what we can find with the chrono opening. At the moment up top, FY. Mikasa, the 2 to be alone. If they can find a jump here, there's the scan. They know it's successful. Immediately the chrono will catch out Mikasa. FY's going to be fine for the time being. Silence does connect from bo3. The BKB's out in time for Mikasa, so they can look to turn this one VG.R. Who are they going to go for? X-Mark onto the Void at the same time. Dragon Hell onto Rong, taking down Disruptor. Can they get themselves anything more? Blinking forward, constantly chasing the side of IG. Yang will have Blink, and he does have Lasso available. XXS quickly out of it. The border smash nicely done to hold back the bat, but N still pursues. The blink away again for bo3 playing around them, hiding in the tree line. Silence onto the DK to make sure the Dragon Tail stun isn't there. Blink forward, but can't get the stun out onto the Void. Cuties out as well. So I mean, even though they lose the Disruptor, just really nice play, especially from the Earth Spirit there with the silences and stuns to hold back the heroes chasing down his teammates.
And he was owning there.
Yeah.
Just landing kicks, silencing, rolling away, blinking away, just baiting, creating a lot of space here. On the other hand, this Roshan's going to be spawning very soon. Sunstrike's going to come out here from Ferrari. I assume he just uses it again once it's up. No reason not to. It's going to be the next thing on the table here for VG.R. IG, they kind of need to contest this. I think if they give VG.R another Roshan, it could mean that, you know, losing the map control for too long and allowing the Sven to just farm up the map and having the DK maybe get, you know, his AC finished, it might be too much. And you know, we talked about the lineups in the beginning of the game and said how VG.R, we kind of favored them because they would have those two tanky frontline heroes. Well, you know, End and Mikasa are both kind of getting to that point.
Yes.
Where it's becoming too difficult to take them down.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, Mikasa, yeah, he's very close to having that AC done. It's all coming together for Vici Reborn. And I can't help but feel it's kind of a similar story to game one, but just the opposite way around. You know what I mean? This time IG the ones to get that early game dominance asserted, and then hitting the point where VG.R even it off. I mean, if anything from the game one is to go by, you know, we could see VG.R recover and then throw it all the way again in the end.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, VG.R are maybe a team that's less likely to make those sudden mistakes where suddenly everything is lost. And if you're IG, you've got to be very scared about the fact that VG.R have managed to stabilize this game.
Oh, we're going to potentially see a big clash here.
See if Exos is going to be. He jumps in. Oh, he's going to land the chrono, gets it onto two. Mikasa and the anti-trap. But again, do they have the damage to kill these two? DDC's going to swap out one. He's going to play those lines. The mech coming through, still keeping him alive. BKB's spawn. Oh, the damage from End cuts through them. He's found two and he's blinking forward for more. Takes down a third. VG.R responding perfectly, and it's getting to that point where it's the problem we talked about. You may land a chrono onto the two cores, but you just can't kill them. And that part, look at Yang getting away on just. Oh,
DDC, less than 100 health. That was just. It was unfortunate for IG because the blink forward from the Void puts him too far away from Ferrari to follow it up with any real damage. So what happens is they hit the chrono on the Sven and the DK. Ferrari's not there. There's no static storm. I mean, Wrong died before he even cast a spell.
Yeah.
So with Wrong being dead, there's no follow up. With Ferrari not having a blink, he can't follow up the Void. The defensive swap came in, FY threw a boat over the remaining heroes inside of the Chronosphere to prevent them from taking too much damage to go down, and IG just had no answer. They are so reliant on getting a kill inside of Chronosphere at this point in the game, and it's all again because of that tankiness of the cores that VG.R has and how much damage they can deal. So now it's kind of at the stage where, okay, IG had control of the game for a pretty good time.
It's all going away.
Yeah, but it's just evaporated off that one fight. That all it takes is one bad fight. And now all of a sudden, you know, your Void's itemized pretty much entirely to start the fight. He has only defensive items, and even with the Midas, he's just not able to set up the fight properly because his other heroes can't follow up the blink initiation. Like, I think Ferrari needs to buy a blink dagger and like sell his drums.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that definitely could be.
Because how else are you meant to get in position?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they don't have any forces.
Oh, it's going. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there we are.
Nailed it.
Absolute banger.
That one fight, if he was behind XXS there, they kill at least one core.
Yeah.
And then the fight maybe doesn't go so, like, unbelievably bad in one team's favor, because I think he swapped Mikasa out of the chrono, like DDC.
He did, he swapped, yeah. DDC
yeah, so if
Mikasa.
the Sven's stuck inside and the Sven dies, then that's like the primary damage dealer of Vici gone.
One knife, twice the damage.
Yeah, they need to be careful, RG. Another fight like that, and you're talking back to the 0 point. In fact, well, it's pretty much back there.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the gold chart at this stage in the game isn't really indicative of how the state of the game is, regardless, because VG.R's heroes carry the gold better than IG's. Like, it's not even close. Sven late game is just ridiculous, and I think a lot of people underestimate how good DK is during the game as well. Yeah. Just because of his ability to siege, like corrosive breath.
He's got 62 armor.
Yeah, the man is like immortal, pretty much.
71% physical damage reduction. That's some good reduction. Or resistance, sorry.
Now, looks like a little bit of split pushing going on here from QD. It's pretty much all he can do at this point. And Mikasa just doesn't care. He's like, yeah, whatever. Cold snap me, it's fine.
EMP gone. It's time to move back in. Oh, they're going to help him move back in.
I don't know what that was.
That was, yeah. A free blink.
Just keep hitting the building, I guess.
Pretty much. They need to do something here, IG. But, okay, here Mikasa, the man with the balls, jumps in, initiating straight on the Chrono, comes out, catches in an FY. The BKBs were already out, so they don't care. They'll look to take down the Earth Spirit, rolls himself away. They'll ignore that, and they'll just head straight back in towards the racks, and chopping away at the melee. He'll find one set down. XSS comes in for a bit of a bash tickle. DDC with the swap to save. Limicate up, dodges some of the damage here, tries to get himself out. XXS with the BKB manning up against Zen. They'll take down the Sven. Big kill for IG. They do need to find one. They may just get it as well. XXS jumping in with the time dilation. Mikasa just turning with the brief fire, trying to man up a fight. Does have the Aegis. They'll take him down once. Can they take him down a second time? He doesn't have any kind of backup. Could be in trouble, and it looks like he will be. Mikasa, the coach, left alone by his team, taken down, and IG finding 2 massive kills. It did come at the cost of their melee racks, but I mean the fact that they were able to kill those 2, that's got to be a bit of a morale booster for the side.
It definitely is. Like, losing one set of melee racks at this stage in the game honestly doesn't really mean that much. Yeah. You can easily push out that one lane just because it's 42 minutes in. They don't have the greatest heroes for wave clear per se, but it still should be, you know, easy enough for them to just go through and be like, all right, whatever. You know, one set of mega creeps is not really that big of a deal.
They might even be able to force out buybacks here with the pushing power they've got.
A lot of time. The only downside is they don't have Chrono for another 15. So by the time Chrono's available, the Sven will almost be back up and Mikasa can buy back. That's a cute little combo here, just getting the Firefly out and Xing him back.
Oh, look at this push. Fortification comes out. Sven is going to be back in 10.
They might not be able to force buyback. Or they're just
They might just get the racks, yeah. Look at this damage. It's, yeah, Cutie just puts BKB and stands his ground.
Okay. Now, VG.R care less about one melee racks than IG because they have a Sven.
Yes.
So the Sven walks up to the creep wave, hits it like once, and it's like, whatever, it's dead.
With that last bit of play, I'd imagine, well, we'll see the graph just probably even out straight again. Yeah. Okay, just it's going to curve back a little bit, but yeah, this game incredibly close at this point.
It is getting a little kind of sketchy for VG.R because the BKBs are getting lower and lower. Like Mikasa's right now is at 6 seconds, and Ends is at 5. So I think within the next like 2 BKB uses, they really want to try to get another set of racks, and I think it's very possible. And I guess there's more scary things coming out on IG as XXS picks up his Aghanims. So now they're going to have a really good consistency of fighting. The Chrono cooldown pretty much synergizes with Meteor cooldown. So every time Meteor Deafening is off cooldown on the Invoker, they can Chrono.
Oh!
That's a dead Disruptor. He has buyout though. They should be able to force that, I think. Wait, what's Roshan? Maybe they go back for Roshan instead.
That's not a couple of minutes, yeah, it's a bit of time. They need to have someone push out the spot lane, and Mikasa's going to get hot in the case.
Invisibility.
I've reached my weekly hour limit.
Hey, I'm back in. So am I. Let's go. Let's go. Alright. I mean, I'm all for this, you know. 2 more Roches, 15 minutes more gameplay. We've got the full house.
Alright, let's see if Owen can acquire the boat here, boys.
Full house, come on. Okay, let's do it. But yeah, I mean, at this place, it looks like VG.R are just going to wait until Rush.
There's no reason not to.
No.
Because you know that IG, fighting out in the open is a little bit harder for them than defending the base. It's easier to utilize Chrono in compact spaces, and you can argue that, you know, Roshan is a compact space, but you also have to consider there's a swap, there's a Firefly and the Bat Rider that can give him a really good vision, and also the capability of initiating before you are actually ready. And then if you have to use Chrono suboptimally, the fight can just be already over. Because what if End and Mikasa get their BKBs off and get a couple of swings on a hero, that hero could just die. Especially when you're playing against something like a Sven, so it's a scary thing for IG. They're just trying to get some semblance of lane control. If they can counter pressure enough to force VG.R around the map, then they themselves can take away the potential for VG.R to get Roshan without losing something elsewhere. And already having that top set of melee racks dead, that lane's always going to be idly pushing anyway.
Unfortunately, we can't see the roast timing out because of the reconnect, but
Yeah, it's like 30
It's
minutes
soonish.
max, I
Yeah.
think.
yeah, it was coming to the end of the main push in the timers, so must be soon. VG.R, yeah, just pushing in these lanes. We'll see if they do go any further than from this point. I mean, maybe, but at the same time, I think yeah, just as long as they can keep the pressure on IG, make sure that IG don't feel comfortable coming out of their base, and then just allow the side of VG.R to get themselves the Roshan. They're going to be happy. I mean, Sven, Moon Shards, once he chomps on that, what does he pick up next? He just go for something like, does he get the heart? Does he just build up the tank? So
Heart's not bad, to be honest.
against the Chrono and Invoker combo.
Yeah,
Pretty nice.
a lot of games you would argue
Yeah.
something like Satanic instead, but having a heart is nice because you don't actually have to hit somebody to get the value out of the heart. Whereas Satanic, you pop it, and if you're not BKB'd or you're stuck on a Chrono, you're not really getting any value from the lifesteal at all. So we'll see what his choice is. I think that DK and the Sven possibly just buy. Oh no, DK's going for a crit. All right. Just wants that DMG.
It'll be interesting as well to see when the game scales on like this, what FY goes for. I mean, does this Kunkka start to build some damage as well after the Greaves and the Yules, or is there any kind of other utility items that he needs for the team?
I think Blink would be really solid.
Yeah.
Just because it's
Blink.
a positioning thing.
Yeah.
You can like blink in with yourself X and
Yes.
then Yule somebody in Torrent. And guarantee the Torrent lands without putting yourself in any immediate danger. Unless you get like Chronoed, I guess. But if you get Chronoed, that's probably a good thing.
Do you think we could see the Blink Rapier?
On Kunkka, no, I don't think he buys a Rapier. Maybe a Blink Dagger.
By
but-
X-Mart yourself, Blinking. Rapier hit.
The other
you're
option
out.
is like Ether Lens.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, Ether Lens. What about the Axe? I mean,
It's good, but the problem
is
is
good.
it costs a lot of money.
yes.
And it's not very often that you're going to be in a game long enough to be able to get the item. Because there's other stuff that you want. You know, he was the mech carrier on his team, so he had to pretty much go Greaves. He wants Yules for the mana regeneration, and also because it's really good for positioning, you can dispel yourself as well. Because he has two ways of removing time dilation now, which is really nice. Because X cooldown is only 8 seconds, and if you're time dilated, it like double and a half's the cooldown of the freaking spell. His time dilation is very balanced.
Well, Roshan is up. VG.R have eyes on it, as well as IG do. And IG actually going to be ones to position themselves up top. I mean, they've already found the melee racks because of this top lane. They do want to get the pressure in on the mid lane. So I think just this presence, this is going to kind of put VG.R off going for the Roche pick, because they know if they go for Roche, there's a high chance that IG will quickly sneak in and take a lane.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Right.
Trying to force a BKB, I guess. Mikasa's not going to fall for it. Oh, looks like, yeah, it's going to be the Abyssal. I keep forgetting that Abyssal is actually technically a tank item now, because
Yes,
it doesn't give you the
yeah.
Vanguard.
Oh, this is good for IG as well. If they could take this rush.
Oh, they're going to kill it for sure.
Oh, shoot. Yang!
Oh.
Alright, and he goes with the Gravity Beauty, and yeah, and jumping in as well. They should have the damage to bring it down. No, the Tornado from Ferrari! Keeping Cutie alive, gets himself out of there, but Boca will pay with his life. So they save the Clinks hole, at least for the time being. No, VG.R hot on the chase. And they've lost two here, IG. They're going to be able to glimpse back. One of the members of VG, the rest of them getting out, IG, but two heroes down. VG.R will move in to take away the Roshan. And yeah, IG, I mean, yeah, Ferrari trying his best to keep the team alive. That's going to be the case. Aegis actually taken by DDC. Cheese is still sitting there. In fact, they'll say, screw the Cheese, we want to get kills, we want to kill this Disruptor, and they will. VG.R finding another one. Wait, who did take the okay, they just put the Cheese on the courier.
They can just run through mid now. They
Yeah.
don't have to. They don't have to push out the other lanes. Although it looks like the Sven might be walking up there now. He does have bots though, so he'll be able to just TP back towards mid once they get to IG high ground. I don't know. I thought they would actually have the damage for that, but apparently it wasn't quite fast enough. And having the ward vision, like the coverage around the red pit, was really good. That one ward that's about to fade right now is actually what gave it away. But yeah, VG.R looking like it possibly could be a 2-0 here in their favor.
Yeah, it absolutely looks to be that way at the moment. They, it's certainly a harder game than game one, it feels like. Because IG, they're still not out of this. A perfect Chrono. Ferrari's combos. Oh, okay, Linkers. It's going to be fine. Holding them back, but they have got great high ground defense, IG. It's not an easy up ground push for VG.R.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh.
That's an interesting combo. Just X the spin. I thought FY was going to tell him to hit the tower, but maybe reacted a little bit too late.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, it looks like VG.R just aren't willing to take the risk right now. They're just going to back up. You can tell how, like, both of these teams are respecting each other so much by how they just don't want to play aggressive, like, ever. The only reason VG.R go into that Roshan pit is because they realize if they give the Roshan to IG, they just lose the map control for the next, 6 minutes minimum. And that is just too much of a hit to take, I think, at this point in the game. And when you have Bat too, it's very easy to fight around the pit. Plus, the ward coverage allowed them to get into a fight where they knew that they would be having the advantage. The rest of the time, it's always just like, okay, we probably should like slow our roll just in case we get chronoed in a bad way. Ferrari's Invoker is 5-1 and 15 right now, and he's pretty much maxed out on items.
No, he's really playing his heart out, Ferrari. There's no doubt about that at all. And Clinks, I mean, where does he go from for now? The build did go for that. Go for the Hurricane Pike, which, I mean, damage-wise, he's still maybe looking for something else. Does he
Yeah, he still needs a true late-game damage item. I mean, hitting for 300 sounds like a lot, but you're hitting into targets that have an excess of like 50 armor. It's just insane how little damage they take from physical DPS at this point, so, I still think crit is really good. MKB possibly also good. Or just out of the crowd control, just going. Because the other thing is go to the exit, so that way actually like talking about being able to stop out like or the chrono near the rim.
Oh, so I mean, he might range.
You can only take some.
There's no point for something like that.
He can step out of the base. He was here to the back. Oh, that has. I mean, here. Yeah,
God damn it!
Oh, get it. And it's understandable. Like,
yeah, he's very worried about. It's not risk.
If he does not, because Clink's being.
Yeah. 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 All right. Coming in. Oh, right. Yeah. Up top the Aegis. There's GC holding on. There we go. You got it. Big. Like he's gonna fight. Well, he made it. Give us the. Damage for the good. Have revenge, but then South he's not a live. Get in, catch him. Down. Big duty with the slams there. Double. For game. The beach on stop. The flick system. Big crop. Let's play player. VG.R. back. 8 Wow, what a
Yeah, that was impressive. VG.R. I mean, I kind of like their draft mobile games.
I think that,
They not necessarily through the first game. They took engagements and kind of allowed IG all the way back in. But unfortunately, so OT here and Series did share very